Hi, y'all. I'm back. How are y'all? What's up? Y'all, click the like button as you come in and we will begin. So I wanted to talk about consciousness, higher mind, and the title probably have has you saying, "What? BeetleJuice?" Yeah. If y'all were paying attention to my Instagram or my posts and things like that, you'll know what I'm talking about. But BeetleJuice is code for um, the melatonin that your pineal gland creates. Okay. So we're going to get into that, and I'm going to show you a few photos that I posted if you haven't seen them, so that you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So I'm just going to put this up to the camera lens so that you can see. Okay, so I've taken a photo of a pineal gland inside of where it's found in the brain. Then I've also taken a photo of where it's located in the brain. Then I've also taken a photo of something that looks very similar to it and put it right next to each other. So you have the pineal gland here, boop, and look how it's encased in the brain. It looks just like a beetle. See? And see, that's it right there before they dissect and remove this part of it. And then we have the scarab beetle that also has the bismuth and feather like of the green ibis like thoth. It's the iridescent rainbow color. And so that's what a glistening of the purples and the greens and the blues coming together as far as the chakras and the energy that's supposed to be in your pineal gland. Because in some cultures, green is considered the color of your third eye, and then in another culture, it's purple. So we have, the iridescence, which is both. Okay. Um, then we have, you know, um, the brain that is left and right hemisphere, masculine and feminine, So um, when the two become one, then you can enter into the kingdom. And the kingdom is here in the third eye and then into the chakra and then up into the ether. So your sight becomes higher. You begin 4D, 5D sight consciousness. Okay. So if you all were wondering like why Chris Brown has his hair painted the color he has it, um, this is what he has on his Instagram, then he's representing the hemispheres of his brain to merge. Okay, so there's a calcified pineal gland right here, and you see how there's a thin, clear, or like white substance that's growing over it. And y'all see how the part that's not calcified is iridescent as well. That's from the melatonin. See? And so this here is the wall that needs to be removed, or the veil that needs to be removed. And by the proper diet and whatever, plus the merge of your left and right hemisphere of your brain into one type of thinking, into a higher thinking, will also help to decalcify your brain and produce more melatonin so that you can operate on a higher frequency. um so it does look just like the scarab beetle. And the god, the Egyptian god Khepri, was believed that the young scarab emerged spontaneously from the burrow as if it was created from nothing. Thus, like Atum, he was a self-created god. The scarab beetle also lays its eggs in carrion, which is like what it's like dead meat, basically. Like if a vulture is eating something and it flies by and drops a piece of meat, that would be carrion. So dead meat, leading the ancient Egyptians to speculate that those scarab beetles were created from dead matter. So something that was not there now is alive. So um, it's kind of also like the cycle of life, to be reborn, through death, the recycling process. So, to be reborn as far as a consciousness means to open your third eye and to see things new like a new baby as well, to also have a new perspective of life as if you are an entirely new person. A lot of people that have awakened or consciously feel like a new baby, and when they're learning all these new things, how to decode, how to see this, how to see that, and it's all because of this little gland that looks like a beetle. And it brings me to the movie Beetlejuice. Someone commented Beetlejuice in one of the comments. So I was like, oh my God, I have to use that. So whoever did that, thank you. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Say it 3 times. Hermes, Trismegistus, thrice great, Thoth. So the juice from the beetle is the melatonin, the melanin produced in the brain, which creates, well, melatonin creates melanin production. So the beetle juice is, you know, the holy grail. Um, and if you think about the movie, the actor who played Beetlejuice, his name was Michael Keaton. Michael, he who is like God. Not saying him particularly, but they always choose people with the correct names to play certain parts for a certain reason. And what did he wear? He wore black and white, and he was dead, but a ghost. And he wanted to marry Lydia. Lydia is like, it means joy. Michael means who's like man, and he wanted to be free. And like the whole story of Beetlejuice is, if he had gotten free, the whole world would be like turn into whatever he wanted it to turn into. So they were afraid of Beetlejuice. You see, they were afraid of Michael because it would change everything, And um, they recently had the Broadway musical of Beetlejuice reemerge, and they changed the colors of the outfit to like purples, lots of purple in there, and like greens and things like that. Also, yeah, the star Beetlejuice or Beetlejuice, however you want to pronounce it, has disappeared or has looked a little bit more dim. A lot of things that are surrounding that. So, mhm, right. So we have, understanding who you are, what you're capable of, what's inside of you, as within, so without, as above, so below. So, in order to raise your consciousness to a higher level of thinking, like let's say we're in 3D, you want to raise your consciousness to 4D. Now, in order to raise your consciousness to 4D, and y'all probably heard me talk about that with Billy Carson on his show, he was talking about how if you were going to look at something from 4D into the 3D world, you could see straight through it, or different versions. Like in 4D, you would see the different versions of yourself, old, young, in different rooms of your house, in different places, like simultaneously at the same time. So, in order to see like 4D, you would have to imagine, you have to use your imagination to even think like that. So, I posted this picture, of course, of Michael Jackson. I said, this is 4D Michael Jackson. With all his selves at the same time. So then, of course, do y'all remember the movie Michael Keaton also played in called Multiplicity, where he made a bunch of clones of himself that were all different. So, we have a pattern here of trying to see on a higher level of consciousness, like 4D and 5D. So, you know, when you change things up a lot, or when you see things from a different perspective, it's easier to see clues and correlations in things that you're trying to decode. So, for example, someone asked me, how do I see these things? Like, how would I see a beetle and think of a pineal gland? I don't know because I've seen a dissected brain before, probably. You know, in my earlier years when I was a mortician, I did a lot of anatomy clinicals. And so I've seen things. So I know what it looks like from the inside. I don't have x-ray vision, but like Leonardo da Vinci, um, when he dissected the cadavers, he was getting a higher perspective of the universe by looking at a body. He was getting a higher perspective of, you know, the ancient mysteries by dissecting the human anatomy. I think a lot of people think that he was way ahead of his time, of course, and it was heard that he disappeared for 2 years after going into a cave and then coming back out with all these ideas. So he might have gone to a higher, dimension or a different dimension. Thank you, Just One. How to heal childhood drama and to have clarity. Well, there's different methods, but the one that I would use is to mentally time travel back there in your mind and create the situation that you would have liked to have instead. And, kind of feel that you can't change it, but you can rewrite it. It's like a script. You can't change it, but you can rewrite it in your mind, you know. So that would be my approach. I don't get too caught up on things that I cannot change. I simply change the way I think about it and vibrate about it and imagine it, and I move forward because there's no use to waste energy and time on something over and over again that is not going to benefit me or change for the better. So that's how I would handle that. I like to approach things logically because, using both sides of your brain is also a way to get to a higher level of consciousness. You can't stay all in emotion and you can't stay all in logic, so you need to combine the two. Figure out what's going to make you feel better about that and go rewrite it. Okay. Um, you said Michael Keaton also played Birdman. Like, look, all his roles are very, because of the name. Um, right. So I'll go on to show you something else. So y'all know, so I've been looking on Instagram at a lot of things and a lot of people post things and da da da. Well, I've been posting my videos lately of the sky looking red at night, like red, like this, red or redder than that. And a lot of people have been posting similar videos, like the sky looks red at night, not during sunset, but at night when it's supposed to be dark, like this. It looks like this. So I filmed it and I put it on Instagram, and I also took photos. And I was like, why is the sky red? And then I'm scrolling and I see Chris Brown posted some cartoon, and he has the earth looking like this, with like this red cloud mass around it. And I'm thinking that's like the blast or the energy that's coming off of Venus and then the sun. And so he posted that. It's like a little cartoon you can watch. It's like an animation with music. So now he's merged with his heart chakra and his right and left, hemisphere of his brain. And he's destroying these creatures. One says hate, one says jealousy, one says hate and jealousy he's destroying. And the only reason he was able to do that is because his daughter and his baby gave him the love in his heart chakra, in order to save the world or whatever. So it's like a little cartoon. It's cute. So his children got his heart together because, when your heart is not healed and your heart chakra is not um, vibrating on the frequency that it should, then it's hard to come into a higher level of consciousness. So that's why you see a lot of these celebrities having children and, getting back to love, and showing off their kids and stuff because, that is one of the only forms of true love is, the love of a child. And that's the only way you can probably open up your heart chakra back to where it should have been as a child before the world corrupted you or whatever. So you'll see a lot of people having children because that is how you can open up your heart chakra very easy through the love of a child. And why you will want to do something right, why you will want to stand for something and da da da. Da. So it makes you into a higher, you know, consciousness to love, especially to have a child. That's why most stories are based around a mother and child and a story about a birth, you know. Um, mhm. Back to Love, one of the songs. Oh, yeah. And so, I learned that. I learned that a lot. Um, you think you're in love, you think you know love until you have a child. You know, I don't know if anyone has, if y'all haven't had kids yet, the strongest love that you can have for anybody, triple and double it when you have a kid. Okay. So just think about that. Now that's very powerful. Unconditional. Yes. hmm I was listening to you because Lion King CD was telling my daughter she is the legacy, so I'm learning now for her future. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that whole Lion King soundtrack with Beyonce is very, very good. I'm listening to a lot of the songs, and it's all, everything is a straight up message. So when you learn how to decode, you'll only hear the message. You won't have to decode anymore. Like when I hear music, I barely decode anymore because I understand that this means that. It's kind of like learning a new language. If you learn a new language, you don't really have to translate. You just know what they're saying automatically. So that's how you want to get with the code. You want to get to it like it's your second language, but you understand it without having to use a translator or, slow down. I don't understand what that means. That's why I like to pair, the science, the alchemy, and then what's going on in the modern world together because you can't separate it. Okay. Every time people try to separate stuff, that's when division happens. Every time someone is saying, oh, no, this is right. And why are you posting this? Because it all goes together. Okay. It all goes together. And a lot of the knowledge is in the music, a lot of the knowledge is on the movie, a lot of the knowledge is in fashion these days. So, it all goes together. When you try to separate something and put it in one category, you're missing a lot of the other pieces. Okay. Mhm. It's the circle of life. You wanted me to decode the Elton John song. It's the transfer of power. The Can you feel the love tonight? Okay, so tonight means in under the rule of the night, which means under the rule of the dark frequency, which means if you understand the electromagnetic spectrum, the darker frequency would be the ruling elite. Okay, then can you feel the love tonight? That means um, as their reign ends, they have to start showing love to the next, to the vagabond that will become a king. So that would be the people who are not ruling at this time. With yes, and then it says, yeah, to make kings into vagabonds. Da, 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 da. And then the circle of life. The rise and the fall, and then the sun, the lion king. So it's all about the rise and the fall of power and who gets to rule next. hmm Okay, the red and the blue sky. I talked about that a while ago when I talked about Venus, Mercury, gamma ray blast, solar no, solar blasts and things like that. A lot of that stuff is coming and creating different lights in the atmosphere from those energies and those radiation energies. That's why you have him fighting these like demon looking things. Let me pull it back up. So he chose to fight a demon and a snake, um, and he named the demon hate, and it's a dark demon. And then he named the snake jealousy. So this is a cobra, which is the rising kundalini energy. So there's a jealousy in the kundalini energy being, rising. There's a jealousy about, you know, there's a hate from dark frequencies. And so through his, I guess, superpowers, he's destroying them, you see, because he loves his daughter. So then there's theft and lies. So that he's going to get back what was stolen. He's going to reveal truth and kill lies. So this is the awakening. This is the awakening of people taking back the power. Okay, so when he defeats jealousy, hate, lies, and theft, that means everything that was stolen, lied about, that's like will be revealed and taken back. So um, the only way he got that power was through his daughter and his other baby, his little son. I guess that's a little baby son, because they're giving him a gift, and what's the gift of love? And in order to really fight for something and fight for your children's future, you have to love them because otherwise you don't really care. You can just do whatever, but if you really care about truth and getting what's right, getting the world right for your children, then you'll participate in, creating that world. hmm Chris Brown has been awake for a long time. I think people just underestimate celebrities because they don't see them as someone who has the time to sit and research, but they do. They have people to do everything for them. They have time to sit and call up people who know about this thing and talk to them for hours at a time if they want. They have time to do all of this. They have time to invite the person to their home and speak with them in person. You know, I don't think that people really have the right to say that, oh, these celebrities don't know anything. They know a lot. And a lot of them are in, certain fraternal orders and things like that, that also share this information with them. So, they do know a lot because they're in the industry. They're in the industry that pushes the message to the people to awaken the people. So they have to know somewhat. And if they don't know, they're actually being taught or seeking the knowledge themselves. And I feel that when people feel that way, they don't even realize who and why people, who gets selected and why. People are selected to be famous because of who they are, what their names are, and what they're going to be representing in their uh, in their social media, in their music, in their videos. Okay, they are chosen from the start. They don't just decide, oh, I think I want to wake up. When they sign a contract, it's already done. The awakening, if it hadn't happened before, begins right then and there through teaching and whatnot. Um, will I take a path as an advisor? I don't think so. I got kids. It's different for a woman. It's different for a woman because, you know, um, I have children and those are my priorities. And if I ever, and plus, if I ever do something, it's going to have to be very different than the norm. It's going to be very different than the norm because I don't like following the norm. I like to do something a little bit different. So whatever that will be, that will be. Um, y'all like my background? It still has the wrinkles in it, but it'll fall out during time. I ordered this like in 2019, and I never took it out of the package, so it had the little lines. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You said I take consulting. I do, but only on a certain level of consciousness. Like I don't want to talk about something that's no longer relevant. Like if you're trying to evolve spiritually, that's good. But I'm not going to talk about something that I've, surpassed and did something like 4 years ago. And, I'm not going to talk about any of those things that are not relevant anymore. So, because if you allow it, people can pull you back, pull your consciousness back. And I want mine to grow. So if you are on this path, if you are keeping up with this information, then I will be more than happy to do, you know, things like that, answer your questions or whatever. But I can't go backwards. Okay, not going backwards. So, hmm you said what type of man you into? The ones with money, baby. Actually, I'm married. Anyway, we were being honest about the consciousness stuff. Oh, okay. You're a graphic designer and can design you a bespoke background if you want. I don't even know what that is, but hey, it sounds good. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I honestly don't watch your old videos anymore. I'm proud of myself for going, aw, sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, when my birthday is coming up, let's see what day it's going to be on. They tricked me. Let's see. It's going to be on a Wednesday. See you next Wednesday. Huh? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I leave all my old videos up for people that want to get that information, but you know, I don't go back there. I just keep moving in the direction that I'm moving. So all the old videos are up. There are even playlists that you can go through and find specific videos. Hmm I have everything I need. Call your voice. That's right. I got everything I need. I meant to say Rihanna called you, wouldn't take it. I don't think Rihanna would need to call me. I think she's pretty much very um, awakened person. You know, if she call, I'll answer. Shoot, okay, Rihanna, how you doing? Send me some Fenty. Um, but I don't think anybody would. I don't think anyone would actually call me without writing me first or emailing me first. Anyway, will you ever do an Eventbrite to do a lecture? Can't do it on YouTube to go really, really deep. No, I don't see that right now. I don't see that. I don't see that. I'm okay. Here's my thing. I'm not organized enough to do a lecture. I like just letting it flow. I can't have no notes. I can't have no outline. I mean, whatever I say, that's what's going to be said, baby. So there would be no courses, no documents with outlines. There would just be a blank sheet of paper, and you could take notes if you want. Because I don't plan what I do before I get on these videos. Only thing I kind of plan out is taking those photos to show you as an example, just like a Bobby Hemmett. He didn't plan anything. He just showed you some what was a transparent slides with the overhead projector from back in the day. All I got are pictures in my phone. So, I have to go with the flow. And when I say go with the flow, that means I'm mostly getting it as like a channel or like just whatever comes out at that time. But all the research and knowledge has been done in the background to speak about how it is scientifically. So it's just I can't really put it into an organized lecture. You see, it would just be some talking and some pictures. Right. And plus, honestly, I don't feel like um, there's something weird about it. But as a woman, I don't feel like standing up in front of a room full of people and being stared at and clapped for, or stuff like that. That's just something that I only like if I do karaoke. Okay. Mm, mm, so yes. What's happening, Shira? Are you ending your channel? No. Why would you think I was ending my channel? I just said I would never go do like a live lecture. I would always be on YouTube lecturing. Um, your wife's birthday is March 11th too. Oh, that's cool. Right, right. Are you still the same shy girl when you were doing MJ person? I'm not as shy as I used to be, but when I was young and I had to do like funeral services and stuff, like I had to talk in front of people. It's just I'm not someone that enjoys to be up in the focus of attention of a lot of people in real life. I don't like it. Um, right. I'd rather just be on YouTube and say, "Hi, how you doing?" I like small one-on-one interactions, and that's it. I don't like crowds. Not that it's like a fear, but I just don't like a bunch of people around me that I don't know, you know. Um, it's not really sensitivity, it's just that I know people and I think I know a little bit too much about people in order to really want to be around them in large numbers. Okay, so that's probably why. I understand myself and I understand certain other people, and I was like, no, we'll just keep it on YouTube. Mhm. And I'm not trying to be rude. We just know the truth. Okay. Hmm. You agree? I've seen too many. I've watched. I'm an observer. I've seen too many people try to do something and it backfire on them. And I'm like, learn from others' experiences. And if you do anything, make sure you think it out thoroughly and make sure it is only beneficial. So when I get to that point, then we'll see. But I've watched many of people try to do an event. I've seen a lot of spiritual people, especially, some women try to do an event and this and that. And oh well, I didn't get what I wanted, and that's a ripoff, and why is it that much? And you know, well, how can I get tickets, or do you have a discount? I can't deal with that. Never could, never will. So I have to keep it on YouTube. Mhm. Right. Um, Sometimes what you see be ooh, right. And if somebody were to show up in my conference in a bonnet, I would just walk off the stage. I'm like, I can't do this. Mm-mm, bye. And y'all would be mad. I couldn't do it, so that's why I have to stay here in front of my little background, and that's as good as it's gonna get. Um, I probably just start telling jokes. Actually, I was like, you know what? It wouldn't even. I would be like, you know what, sir? I'm gonna have to ask you to move over there because your outfit is hurting my eye, and I cannot concentrate. It's not that I'm being mean. It's just that I was being like honest. Um, do you relate to the song Alligator Sky to anything that has happening now? I don't know that song. Dang, I don't know that song. I have to find it. Why we have to get penalized for the bonnet wear? I don't know. Ask them. Don't if you like they shouldn't be there. I'm just gonna make a sign. You know, you know how they do on the store and they just get a piece of paper and they like have a cross out sign with a mannequin and a bonnet on it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have the sandals too, the the dusty sandals and the bonnet. You can't come in. Sorry, but I don't even know because I'm not even doing that. So, but if I were to do it, that those signs would have to be up. Dress code required, baby. Sorry, I'm bougie like that. Yep, dress code strictly enforced. And the reason why is because it's going to reflect on how you care about yourself, how you care about your own representation of yourself and how serious you are about, what you're doing in life. So I would never want people to this ain't church, okay? I don't need your tithes and offerings. So you need to come like I expect you to come. You know how they say in church, come as you are? Yeah, because they need your money. And they rather you spend money on them than a new outfit, baby. Okay. Right. Sure. I see you soft side. And for the first time today, you look so sweet. Oh, thank you. You said no booty shorts, right? So, growing your consciousness also reflects on the outside as well. You have to represent as well, you know, unless there is some profound reason why you're looking the way you look. If you're not looking the way you look for some profound, conscious reason, then you should look as if you want to be respected. Hmm. Right. And another reason is, and yeah, because a lot of the time the money stuff gets in the way. That's why I could never do anything like that because you know it's just a little bit too much worrying and issues for anybody to take a certain amount of money without people trying to come back and get it later when rent due because they can't afford things and they try to do stuff that they can't afford and then they have second thoughts when the bills start showing up. So I can't really do that. And I just would rather just be on YouTube. So that's it. Okay, there you go. There's your answer. But anyway, so back to the lessons. So broadening your consciousness also means broadening how you feel and think about certain things. Um, your standards as well, because when you stop dealing with certain types of energies or situations and you have higher standards, you start to see on a whole different level. you know you start to think on a higher level as your standards gets a little bit higher. Like, there are certain things you just will not accept, and you don't have to deal with lower energies anymore, and you're around higher frequencies now. And so you start to vibrate at a higher frequency, which then allows you to pick up on even higher frequencies and keep rising and rising. So environment, the people you hang around, how you feel about yourself is very important to raise your consciousness. Because if you are trying to raise your consciousness, but you are sitting around hating on yourself or feeling negative about yourself or not loving yourself enough, then you're not really moving forward. Your frequency is not rising because you don't even love yourself. You see? So if you're not loving yourself, if you don't have confidence in yourself, if you don't like what you are, who you are, and where you are, then it's going to be hard to stay on a constant level of going forward because you're still worrying about things on a lower level. hmm Keep living in your divine purpose, and you are so inspired. Oh, thank you, Shirley. I will. So, right. So that's why it's hard for me to kind of plan something like that unless it was an exclusive event, like a fundraiser where you have to buy a plate. You know those, the fan ones. Um. So, what if you live with someone who has low energy? How to protect yourself? Have as little interaction with them as possible. And if they come to you with the negativity, don't respond with negativity. Find the positive in it. Like, if they start nagging you or yelling at you, just like, oh, that's so true. I'm going to think about that. You're right. Just agree with them. You're right. I'm really going to think about that. I'm going to give that some consideration. Thank you for letting me know. I've noticed if you just tell people they're right, they leave you alone. Even if they dead wrong, just tell them they're right. It ain't gonna hurt you. It's gonna be like, oh, you're so right. I'm really gonna look into that. You are correct. Thank you for letting me know. Bye bye. Just let them say. Just tell them they're right, even if they're wrong. Just tell them they're right. That's all they want to know. Am I right? And they know if you tell them you're right. If you say you're right, they know right away you're trying to get rid of them. And then they'll try to find something else. They'll be like, well, da da da. I said, no, I agree with you. You're totally 100% right. I'm really going to research that. I promise. You're 100% right. I'm going to get on that right away. What can they do but leave? See, I got to go. So just give them what they want and let them leave and then do what you were going to do anyway. Don't let people stop you. hmm They throw sage at them, then throw sage. I'm not wasting my sage on somebody like that. I'm just going to tell them they're right, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do and think what I'm gonna think. You see how that works? Your dad loves to debate and argue. I always say you're right. Me too. That's the fastest way to end an argument is just tell the other person that they're right. Um, you got that phase 2 elixir. Good. Yeah, you gotta get it. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, there's something new that's getting ready to come out. And it's like you can use this all day long to keep your energy high. It's like a mix of like phase 1 and 2. Y'all know y'all like that phase 1 and 2. So working on something new. hmm So when it drops, I'm gonna let y'all know. Um, and I want to get the gold. Okay, It's there now. Um, so you rather have peace or be right? Exactly. I'd rather have peace and let you be right in your mind and let me do what I'm gonna do anyway. People that argue are not arguing for peace. They're arguing to argue, to prove something. But, if you just, okay, you're right, and let it go, then you're free. In uncut gems, Michael Jackson pieces were the center of his jewelry collection. Wow. Uncut gems. I'll have to check that out when I get some free time. Thank you. Okay, so also, yeah, everybody's scared of the coronavirus. Corona, corona, corona. Y'all get the silver drops in my Etsy store. Um, that is antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, you know. So if you're worried about that, get you some silver. For me, you know, I take the silver all the time. That's why I'm never sick. Even I don't get a cold, even I don't get, just regular sicknesses. I might have like a cough for 2 days and then that's it for the whole year, because my kids be coming home and they go to schools which are germ infested, but they're over theirs in like 2 to 3 days because I do give them supplements too. And then that's it one time through the whole year. It's an elixir that you take orally. Yes. Um, and I do have these other sprays, which are platinum and gold sprays that are available now. They come in these little bottles. You can take them in your purse. This is the platinum. This is based in platinum, but it's called Ethereal Evolution Elixir. So this helps you to get your creative juices flowing, and to just have ideas and, you know, I would say very profound, creative thoughts to push you to the next level, whether it be in business or spirituality. And then we have the gold fountain, which is the gold, it's a spray, and you can keep this in your purse and spray it. This will give you energy, help you think faster. If you're an athlete, it also helps you perform faster because, gold is a conductor of electricity. Muscle tissues work on electricity, brain neurons fire on electricity. So, like if you go to work and you're like, I need a little boost. You know, if you are a creative or a creator, or you're trying to come up with some ideas, if you're a writer, if you're an artist, if you're just not feeling inspired to do anything, this one is the Ethereal Evolution Elixir, which is like platinum based. It will get you there. Mm. You can do both at the same time. I would do like a couple sprays. And, whenever you need a little pick me up, a couple sprays throughout the day will help you. So you have silver for well, you need to check with your doctor because y'all know I can't give out medical information about little children. Do I look I'm not a doctor. But that's what they always tell you to say when people ask about children and to go ask your physician for legal purposes. But I give it to my kids. Okay. So yeah, nano silver for the silver drops. Okay, hold on. Yeah, there's a weirdo in here. Hold on. Yeah. They say you can give it to kids. Yeah. So, y'all can check out my Etsy store for that. It's in the link in the description. Or you can go to Dark Realm on Etsy. Thank you, Nicole. Can the sprays be used together with the elixir? Yeah, you can. Definitely. Sprinkle, sprinkle. hmm Everybody on here fake, fraud. You know what? Just because people have a business don't mean they're fake. Doesn't mean they're fraud. It doesn't mean that they're scammers. Just because you got to punch a clock, baby. Maybe you need to figure out how to get your own business started. Okay. Every time someone try to advertise for themselves or do something for themselves, they crabs in the barrels want to come pull you down. That's why I can't be in front of what's your name? Leon? Leon, you would be the one coming in there with them dusty sandals on, and you would not be able to come through. Okay. So you do it's Etsy vintage. Oh, I love vintage Anna. What's the name of your shop? Sprinkle Sprinkle? Always them people. They always gotta ruin it for everybody. Oh Lord, here they come. Here they come. It's a fraud. It's fake. No, you know what's fake? I'm gonna tell you what's fake. Your sense of security if you punch a clock. That's what's fake. Because any given day, you can get let go, fired. Okay, that's fake. Anyway, you done with your lunch break. Don't forget to pick up that caution sign after you done mopping. Bye bye. How can I use magic to make my music viral? You got to put code in your music, baby. If it don't have code, or if it's not like very catchy, it's not going to go viral. Study all the people that went viral and see why. Old Town Road, that went viral. Why? Because it was different and it had code in it. Start in the key of G. You got to have a good hook and it has to be meaningful within. It has to resonate with the truth within your DNA. So it needs to be coded. Thank you, Kayla Nicole. Sprinkle, sprinkle, girl. I know, I know. Y'all know I have to get my trolls. They coming here to get me, so I'll get them too. You know, I'll neutralize it. Y'all know Pisces got the dark side. You got a good side and a bad side. Don't get on the bad side. Okay, don't get on the bad side because battling everything that comes against you in the world. You have to battle your own people inside your own on your own YouTube channel because they mad because they got to punch a clock. So just learn. Don't be mad. Just learn. Okay. Get your own stuff started instead of buying a bag of weed or alcohol. Save your money and invest into yourself and create your own business. Okay. You'll be all right. Dusty be gone spray. Mm-hmm. Smell. What would it smell like? The dusty be gone. A good idea. Discipline. I don't know what does that smell like, You got the last one? Anyway, yeah, after 100 years of service to a job, they're gonna give you a watch that you can purchase for yourself. That's true. Like I don't want to watch. That means your time is up, baby. Look, you're gonna die in 2 years. Enjoy your retirement. Right. Hmm. Can you use the spray and smoke after? So can you spray and raise your frequency and then smoke and then lower your frequency? Sure. Do what you want. Makes sense to me. Are horoscopes a great way to see if you're compatible with someone or does it vary? Well, it depends on what type of man you want or woman you want. Do you want a provider? Do you want someone that's not super emotional? Then you need to pick accordingly. Like if you don't like super emotional men, don't go for a water sign. You like a grounded man who's like a fire or earth sign, get you a fire or earth sign. If you like, I would go, I would go like that. Yes. What do you want from him? You want somebody to hold your hand, cry, watch Lifetime? Go get you a water sign. You want somebody that's gonna go and get the bacon and bring you some money? Go get you a earth or a fire sign. Okay, because they got that fire up under them and they're grounded. No offense to the water signs. I'm a water sign. We need to be inspired. Like, don't get me wrong, water signs can be paid, but they have to be inspired. It's not going to be something that drives them on a daily basis. They have to be inspired to do anything. We need to have the mood right. The sun got to be shining at the right angle. We have to have the right outfit on, and we just have to feel good about what we just did and ate. And it's like, okay, now everything is in line. Now I can figure out what I'm going to do. And then when they get to going, they really do something. But you know, they're very passionate, and their emotions are on the forefront. Okay. You're a Leo, you have an Aquarian man, they sensitive, they crazy. Mhm. But in a good way. Shout out to the Aquarius. My mom's an Aquarius. Okay. You know, like the best signs that I get along with are Leos and Sagittarius for some reason. Like um everyone that is close to me in my life are Leos or Sagittarius. That's the only thing that are close to me. Like everybody else is like, but those are the only signs that I'm truly compatible with. And it's like whenever I can always tell, it's like, you must be a Leo, you must be a Sagittarius because, we click or whatever. But I feel that I can't even think of another sign that I've actually clicked like that with. So those are my best. And I'm a Pisces. Hmm. Hmm. Your mom's a Pisces, Vanessa? That's cool. Together we make plasma, baby. Steam. um, we take it to the ethers. How you doing? Okay. What about the CBD? I like CBD. I think it has a good purpose if it's used in the correct way. Yeah. Hmm. What are Aquarius like? Crazy. They march to the beat of their own drum. They're very intuitive. They have to stay busy. They're just a little bit different, but it all makes sense in the end. Right. Aquarius are really selfish. They are. I think a lot of people are really selfish. I mean, we live in a selfish day. Hmm. She's stingy, your sister? Most sisters are stingy, girl. That's just siblings. Right. Some natural ways to reduce radiation in your house. Unplug all your stuff. That's one way. Um, Maybe not do wireless. Have less devices. Turn off your devices. Just simple stuff like that. Turn off your devices. Unplug everything. I know they sell stuff that you can put on your windows and stuff, but I don't think people are going to actually go out and do that. There are pendants or special types of phone cases you can get that's made out of a certain type of material, argons, crystals. Put a lot of crystals around your house, and then kind of suck them up. All the frequencies and stuff. They will absorb them. So that's how you can reduce it. Like if you're not using something, unplug it. Turn off any devices you're not using, and you know, yeah, you're welcome. You get an EMF reader. I have one of those too. They have one on your phone too. You can download an app that has it on your phone. So you don't have to buy it, but if you want just to have a separate one, you can. Mhm. You said don't sit near the TV. It will help on your light bill. Yeah. Um, do they work well on your phone? Are you talking Oh, they have these buttons, these little stickers that you can buy on, like, Amazon, and they're supposed to absorb the frequencies from your cell phone, and I bought one, and, I bought the kids one, so they're not that expensive either. Mhm. You said Shungite? Yeah, I have some of that here, Shungite. So, like, when I'm online, when I'm surrounded by all these lights and stuff like that, I have a couple of crystals back there, some stones, and, it does absorb a lot of the frequencies and electromagnetic stuff. Oops, sorry. While I'm here. So, if you're on your computer a lot, if you're on your phone a lot, then maybe just have some jewelry or like a crystal nearby or whatever, hold it. I remember one time my computer was this is a long time ago. I think I filmed it on this channel. I can't remember. But my computer was like acting weird. Not this computer, but an old one was acting very weird. And I had the EMF reader on my phone, and I would put the meter next to the computer, and it would be on a very high number. And then I took a giant quartz crystal and I put it next to the computer for like a couple of minutes, and then I took it away. Um, No, I put the crystal on there. I didn't take it away. And then I did the reading again with the EMF, and it was so much lower. It was like below the number it should have been. So just by putting the crystal on the computer, it lowered the reading because it was absorbing it. And so that was an old one. That one is way gone. It was like years and years ago. But it will take away a lot of that frequency. Hmm. I usually use a big quartz crystal. I think the bigger, the better because it'll absorb it faster. But jewelry is fine. Any type of loose stone, just lay them on your computer and stuff, or near it. Um, Argon is good, right? We are the crystals that why it's draining to be around a lot of people. That's true. If you have a lot of crystal in your body, it's like you will absorb people's energy, but it could be a good thing if you know how to transmute it. You know, you can be in a crowd and become energized rather than drained, depending on where you are. Hmm. The examples of code in music, every rap lyric you could think of is mostly code. Jay-Z has a lot of code in his music. Michael Jackson has a lot of code in his music. Just you have to understand like hermetic, teachings. You have to do some work, baby. You got to get this work. Okay. You got to start reading Emerald Tablets. You got to start reading the Kabbalion. You got to know universal law. You got to know what's happening in the world now. You got to know what time it is. You know, um, just this is the thing that they don't tell you when you become a music artist. And this is why so many people get taken advantage of because they don't even realize. When you sign up to the entertainment industry, you must know code. If you don't know code, you will become a sacrifice. Okay? They'll just use you because you don't know what's going on. So learn the code. Yes. Start reading, baby. Mhm. Oh, the Sky Channel, you ordered the Billy Carson book, Compendium. This book, yeah, this is a good book. But I'm going to be writing a book very soon on code. So many people don't know how to decode. I'm going to put it all in a guide. How to decode. And then y'all don't have no more excuse. I'm just saying, you know what? Y'all want to know how to decode? Get my book. And y'all will have the information on how to do it in a guide. You got to stay on top of things. Exactly. If you don't stay on top of things, you won't know what's going on, what's coming around the corner. Yay. Yeah, it's going to be, in a couple of months, probably in a month or two. Um, so it's not going to be a big, thick book because a guide does not need to be thick. It just needs to get straight to the point. It'll be available in paperback too. That way you can take it with you wherever you go. Code is applicable to everything. Yes. Dreams, everything. How do you think people decode your dreams? The same code. The same way you decode dreams, you can decode everything. There are different levels of coding, like biblical, hermetic, cultural. It's just there's so many layers of how to decode. So they'll develop as you learn, the basic code. The basic code is just like the etymology of a word, looking up what the name meaning is of this person, looking up the colors, like what does this color represent? And then you always go, okay, what does this mean spiritually? What does it mean biblically? What does it mean, you know, in science? And so you look up all the aspects. You'll have like a chart. What does it mean biblically, scientifically, hermetically, da da da. And then you'll have all of what it means in one row. I think I'm gonna do it like a chart. And this is how you decode. You take the word or the symbol, and then you do every interpretation of it and get the complete understanding of it. And that way, when it's said in this aspect, oh, they're referring to the biblical aspect. Or when it's said in this aspect, oh, they're talking about the cultural aspect. Or when they say, oh, when they say it this way, oh, that's probably the esoteric aspect. But then you see what they're saying on all of those levels. So you're seeing 5 different levels from one word. So it's very interesting because it's going to be eye opening. It's going to help a lot of people to understand the lyrics that they're listening to, the movies that they're watching, the symbols that they're wearing, the lyrics of the national anthem, the lyrics or the lyrics to, lullabies or nursery rhymes. It's all going to start making sense to you on a deeper level. And some people may get mad, and some people may get happy, and some people may look confused, but the whole time you were being programmed with all of these things and you didn't even really know it. The whole time you're reading, a holy book, the Bible, the Quran, you're being told something totally different than you're perceiving or understanding. So it's going to be an eye-opening. It's going to be very eye-opening to experience learning how to decode, especially with the book, and you could do it at your own pace. And you don't have to fully understand it. You just have to keep doing it until you do. You know, it's almost like learning a new language, but easier. hmm Like if you can learn how to do tarot cards, if you can learn how to interpret dreams, if you can learn how to read an astrological chart, decoding is easier than all of those. Okay, so just understand that because you can just use Google in your phone to do all the most of the work and research. Do I homeschool? Nope. You wish you could learn faster. You need to get on these elixirs. Those elixirs will connect those neutrons faster. Like, honestly, if you go back and watch my videos when I first started taking my elixirs, maybe like a year and a half ago, the thought process gets faster because your neurons work on electricity and gold, platinum, silver, a lot of the things that are in the elixirs, like minerals, they help your neurons fire faster because they conduct electricity. It's in your bloodstream. So you'll be able to think faster and connect more dots than you would have before. So, for example, if you were just going to connect two dots and it took you 5 minutes to connect two dots, if you got on the elixirs and it would take you maybe 30 seconds to connect two dots, and then you would connect five, six, seven, eight more dots after that and keep going. You know what I'm saying? So it just takes you beyond what you can do naturally because your frequency is actually going to raise higher so you can think faster and raise your frequency and pick up on things in a higher frequency than you could pick up on if you were in a lower frequency. So it's like you're an antenna, and in order to pick up the good radio stations and stuff, you have to be on a certain frequency. hmm So it's all science. It's all science. It's not some spiritual spooky stuff because that's all science. Spirituality is science that most people don't understand, which is why I try to explain it. Oh, get these elixirs. It's not like that holy water that they give you in church and tell you it's gonna heal you. These are elements that conduct electricity, which is what creates your frequency. Mhm. Right. I probably should homeschool. Sasha already know code. My daughter Sasha, she comes home and laughs at the teacher. Mom, guess what? Teacher tried to teach me today. Because every time she comes home, I tell her everything I tell you guys. Everything everything y'all learn, she learned. Because usually when I pick her up from school, I'm watching the replay and I'll have it in the car and she's listening to me. And she'll ask me questions. Well, does that mean this? And does that mean that? And then she'll teach me something sometimes because she'll start connecting dots. So she gets her after school lesson in the car when we go to pick up Layla. And then Layla gets hers if she's, because I'll still have it playing. And I'll ask her a question like I forgot. You got to play with Layla because, I said, what is that? Can you look it up for me? So I get her involved. But they learn and they understand and they already know it's a brainwashing system. I just say, y'all just gotta go get you some social skills. Um, but you know the truth, babe. Right. You could go on to phase two if you like. I mean, it's up to you. Mhm. You program but needs the social. Well, I don't want them to grow up, without having social skills. So they go for the social reasons. They need to learn how to deal with problems in the real world. hmm You can see me creating a children's book. That would be fun, yeah. hmm Um, Thank you. I try to teach them the best that I can of the things that I know. And a lot of people ask me, well, how do you know when your kid's ready or how do you teach them? Just teach them. Just it don't matter where you start from. They'll listen to you. Um, and like I said, Sasha or Layla, they have never read a Bible until after they were able to understand how to decode it. They have never read a Bible until they were understanding how this doesn't really mean that literally. They will sit and decode cartoons, movies, whatever. And that's when you give your child a Bible, when they can understand it, not before. Because it's the same message as in every movie, every cartoon. Anyway. hmm Why is it called dark energy? Because it's unseen. All right. Should there be mystery schools? Should spirituality be a personal path? Um, I feel that I don't see there's a bad thing about mystery schools at all. I just feel like some people are self-taught, some people are self-learned, and some people are not. People learn different. So however you learn, that's how you learn. Like I'm self-taught. I learn by myself. I can connect dots, and it's easier to be self-taught, especially when you can connect dots. But if you have a hard time because you're programmed, and most of it is just getting unprogrammed. A lot of people, if they were fresh canvases, would have no problem learning or understanding these things. But when you have to deprogram yourself first from religion or whatever you were believing before you came upon this path, that's probably best if done in some sort of environment, because as long as it took you to become programmed, it may take a process to unprogram you. I was never programmed because I rejected it anyway. You know, I was like, yeah, whatever, that don't sound right. So I'm gonna go over here into the library and get this book over here and research it myself, since you can't answer my questions and you're supposed to be the adult. Let me go do the research. As a child, I did that. When I was like in fifth grade, I'm like, you know what? I will go figure it out myself because y'all ain't telling me a thing. And so that's why I feel like being self taught is, you know, seeking the knowledge, sorry, not just hoping someone gives me the correct knowledge, but actually seeking it for yourself is always going to be something very valuable, you know. Um, but when your own parents, when the people that are supposed to be, the wiser cannot give you any answers, you must go and seek on your own or choose to believe whatever they told you. And I was like, I don't believe that. I'm gonna go figure it out. Y'all can keep believing that if you want to, but I'm gonna go over here and get some real answers, or the best answers that I can find. And that's what I did. Right. I started when they were very young, you know. I started when they were very young. Music is a good way to start. Cartoons are a good way to start. Start decoding them cartoons, baby. It's like, oh, you see that cartoon? Yes, yes, yes. That means that. That means this. And how will they disagree if they don't know? If you give them how to decode, they'll be able to see things in a whole different way. hmm You gotta spend time with your kids to teach them, though. So find something y'all like to do together and use that as a lesson. Like watch movies together, have a movie night, decode the movie together, decode their favorite song, decode their favorite video, favorite music video. And then they'll get in the habit of doing it. Okay. Mhm. So, right. The Simpsons predict the future because the future is written. The future's already written. That's how I can predict. If nothing is predicted, it's just written. The major events, anyway. The events predicted are already planned. That's why. No, it's constructed to happen. Like people conspire to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like they actually physically make it happen. They say, okay, well, we got to do this. So go ahead and get that done because that's in the prophecy. So we got to make sure the prophecy comes true so we get to the next level. It's kind of like they already know it's a set of instruction. Prophecy is a set of instruction for certain orders to complete. Okay. That's all it is. And want the when you realize that you're not gonna be in the dark anymore, you're like, okay, well, I guess this is supposed to be coming up soon. So right. It stresses you out. Yeah, it's preordained. They already have it planned, how they're gonna do it, where they're gonna do it, when they're gonna do it. So it's just like just expect it. It's already pre-written, pre-planned. Do I think Chris Brown is enlightened? He's more enlightened than many people on the channel. Yes, very much so. Um, like I said, as soon as you sign a music contract, you get start your lessons, baby. Or even before that, they will come and teach you. They will. Most of the rappers, especially the major ones and the singers, they all have code in their music. All of them. Hmm. Where is the best place we can learn about these prophecies? Book of Enoch, Emerald Tablets, Revelations in the Bible, Nostradamus, anything with prophecy in it, that's what's going to be executed in some sort of way. But remember, those prophecies are coded. So you must decode them to understand what's going to happen. How about our personal lives? Is that pre-written? No, that's based on your choices. It's pre-written if you believe in higher dimensions, but in order to make the choice that you want to get to, it's it depends on what your decision is. So like there's a thousand options to one choice that you make. So if you take this decision, you'll end up in this reality. If you take this decision or this choice, you end up at that reality. So whichever reality you want to end up in, see that reality first before you make the decision. Yeah, like if I marry this person, am I going to have this type of life or this type of life? Well, this person is not all that motivated, so I'm probably not going to have that type of life. So might end up in this type of life. Do I really want that type of life? No, then I'm not going to marry this person. So it's how you, yeah, it's how you move. Exactly. Shifts. It's how you move. If I move this way, they're going to move that way. So I'm not going to move that way. Mm, so it's up to you. It's like a choose your own adventure game. It's you don't really know, but you can guess. You can kind of what maybe if I go down this path, it'll lead to the cemetery. In those choose your own adventure books. But if I go through this door, maybe it'll lead to another universe. Which one will I do? And then so you choose one. Okay, go to page 7. Y'all remember those books? Wow, I went to a whole nother universe. So your choices are already predetermined, but you have not experienced, you know, which one that you picked yet. Hmm. Right, right. BeetleJuice, that's the melatonin that's produced in the pineal gland. So we already passed that part of the video up, but you can rewatch it. I gotta go. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And like I said, y'all can get the elixirs. I also have 2 other books on my Amazon. How to manifest with dark energy, and I also have how to turn a curse into a blessing. And those 2 are on Amazon in ebook form, so you can download them. I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye.